remember who's in round 5, so let's kind of just hop over and see what we're going with. Oh, right. Aetherworks Marvel's back, guys, versus Traverse Shadow this time. So we got to see Andrew at the beginning of the night. He was sitting round 1, ready to go, stomped all over me. Will we have Jund on stream tonight? Not tonight. Closest thing we got, I guess, is the Traverse Shadow. It's kind of that 4-color shadow list. No Jund on stream tonight. But again, we had 18 players show up last week for the event. We record up the matches every Tuesday night and be able to sit there and broadcast it up the following Monday. So we had 18 players show up. Of course, that is 5 rounds of coverage. So we did our best to try to bounce around to show as many different players as possible so you guys aren't getting bored with the same decks over and over again. We have a whole plethora of decks that show up each and every week. So lots of chances to be able to see your favorite decks on stream and on camera. Like Skywalker says, Andrew Burns needs to be playing Burn. He was born for it. So again, for those that aren't familiar, what we do here on Modern Magic Mondays is we have 10 weeks of regular play, which is just kind of a Tuesday night Modern event that we do, which anywhere from 4 to 5 rounds, depending on how many people show up. At least 18 players showed up, so that means we had 5 rounds of coverage. After 10 weeks, whatever the point totals are from those players, the top 8 players get a battle it out in an invitational. We just had the invitational last week for season number 6, which had our first 2-time champion after 2 years. This time around, we are going to be into season 7. Lots of chances for players to kind of make a name for themselves. We have a lot of new faces coming out. Andrew Burns, one of them, playing in the season for the first time. So after 10 weeks, we'll let you know how things go. But so, for example, if a player decided to go 3-2, right? So each round, of course, is worth 3 points. They won 3 times. They have 9 points for that week. Next week, they go 2-3. Oh, they only got 6 points. So we keep adding up their points, and I'm, of course, the one keeping track of it. I have a whole spreadsheet, and we post it up at least at the shop for people to know. So starting things out, great opening here for Andrew, saying, I'm going to go to 18, and I just want to look at what you're doing, because who plays energy in Modern, right? So Inquisition, and look at these shenanigans. Look at this Emrakul hanging out there. He says, you cannot take that. Or maybe they're having a discussion about it. No, so yeah, he says you can't take it. It has to be 3 or less. So there is our puzzle knot over here, which is the Woodweaver's puzzle knot, which gets 3 energy, and he gains 3 life. And you can sack and gain 3 energy, get 3 life, that sort of thing. And yeah, he'll say, I would like to gain 3 life and gain 3 energy, please. Sitting at 23, and passes on over. So again, loving the discussion people have been having in chat about different decks and stuff. We had a whole big thing about Lantern Control. What are your guys' thoughts on Traverse Shadow versus Grixis Shadow? I'd be curious to hear what people are feeling about it. Which one you guys like better? Which one you think is maybe stronger in the meta currently? Things like that. I feel like it, a big part of it is preference on what sort of style you like to play, and that's what's so great about Modern right now, is that you can play a deck that is more to your preference. And he says, I'm going to Inquisition you again, and I'm going to strip away Ancient Stirrings that showed up there. And he says, I'll use this relic. Now, relics work out really well against this Traverse list because it does rely on that Delirium and having those different card types. The Goyf also relies on having all these cards in the graveyard. It says here, strip away another card, please. And yeah, John's just sort of in this build-up phase for his deck. And that's the thing, is you got to get up to that 6 mana before you really get to do things. I like Skywalker's thoughts in chat there, saying how I think always take the deck that you're most comfortable with, which we've had this discussion on Modern Magic Mondays when it comes to going to SCG Open or a GP or anything like that, and we even have it when we have our Invitational here. Is talk about players try to go for like these metagame choices and try something different, where a lot of times it's the players that play something they know that they have the experience with, they end up doing better. Instead of just going, oh, this is clearly the best deck in the format, I'm going to play this deck. Well, if you don't put the reps in, the time in it, you're not going to do well. Alright, so we did get to see John be able to shuffle away his cards because that Thoughtseize had to take that Emrakul, which is the only card left in, and Death Shadow sitting at a 1/1. He says, I'd like to gain some energy and gain some life. 7 energy. So he's ready as soon as he gets that Aetherworks Marble. I love Lantern Control, and I'm probably one of the few people that love Lantern Control. And I do think you are going to see that influx of people picking up the deck and trying to play the deck and then getting frustrated, like, why is this deck not working the way it's supposed to? I keep hearing about how everybody hates it and it locks people out and it's supposed to be so good and everything like that. War of Invention made the deck so much more consistent and so much better, but you have to have really good knowledge of what other decks are in the format to know how to manipulate what players are drawing. You also have to have really good knowledge of the deck and the lines that you can go, not just the same old consistence. And that, the second part comes from putting in the reps and practicing. Yes, it does. So the Aetherworks Marvel deck also runs through the Breach Emrakul. Yes, that is another way that it can sneak it out, besides just running Aetherworks Marvel. I see. Okay, so Maverick03 was saying Bridge is probably high on the potential ban list now. I can see why Bridge is a scary thing, but you know, I've seen people board it in other matchups and stuff like that. Like Burn is pretty cool to have that as an option. I really like having a deck like Lantern Control exists because, you know, if you have particular extra stuff against it in the sideboard, it's nice because it also can, like, your sideboard hate against Lantern also works against other decks like Affinity and things like that. So you know, you can pull that double duty and, oh, look at this Lily coming out. But I don't want to see anything from Lantern be banned right now. I think the only thing that the argument that can be made is to ban, you know, either Mox Opal or ban Ancient Stirrings, things like that, to get rid of that also hurt other decks in Modern, but I don't even feel like those are necessary right now. Okay, I believe he just shocked himself. Down to 10, so he can do 3 points of damage to put John to 23. Guys, I need to pay more attention. Getting distracted. That's true, too. Skyward saying, Affinity sideboard doesn't hate on Lantern and vice versa, not a lot. Yeah, that is another thing, too. I like Pop's thought, as I think if anything, it's Ancient Stirrings, because it also helps with the Tron issue. Ooh. John saying, you know what, I'm going to go to 20. That's scary. Yeah, the whole eggs thing. Alright. So we've got our lovely Thopter Maker, the Whirler Virtuoso here. 2/3, pay 3 energy, get a 1/1 Thopter. You also get 3 energy when it enters the battlefield. So this is another way to kind of stick it out. All this energy that John's been building up, what are you going to do with it if you don't get an Aetherworks Marvel? Well, now you have a way to just make blockers. Alright, so decision-making times here. Like, so even with Lily, you could say, okay, please sack a creature. And he says, in response, make a Thopter. I'll sacrifice that Thopter. He says, yep, no problem. Sack that in response to that. Cool. If you try to attack with that Death Shadow, I'm going to make a Thopter and block with it. Alright? Yeah, I think that is another thing, too. A lot of people are going to do that whole copy-paste. Oh, look at this deck that did well at the Pro Tour. I'm going to pick it up. Like, I feel like a lot of people like the idea of the red-black Hollow 1, of the Young Pyromancer, the Mardu Pyromancer stuff. But a lot of the things with the Pro Tours, the list that people were running, they were doing their best to battle against decks they thought were going to be popular. You know, they thought that Lantern, they thought that, or I'm sorry, they didn't think Lantern was going to be as popular. They thought like 5-color Humans, they thought that Tron, they thought that Burn, those were going to be popular decks. Wow, 26 Mox just went right back up to. Oh, but he took 3 off of that, so we'll say he's at 23, right? Okay, 2 fetch lands available here. So here's the thing. It's like, all right, if Andrew starts swinging in. Oh, did he take 2 off that whir? So he'll be at 8. So 5 damage to Mox puts him to 18. Says, here's 9 energy. I'm going to make 3 Thopters. Uh-oh. Aetherworks Marvel. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. It's time. 3, 4, 5, 6. What do we get? Show me what you got. Spin the Marvel. He's rearranging his board. He's ready. Ready for something big. All right. Alright, fine. Guess we'll just get some energy off of this. So he's going to get the Whirler of Virtuoso here. And make more energy, make more Thopters. But he's on this, like, evasion plan now, right? So he basically can just be like, well, now I've got all this evasion. And he's going to come at him for 4 here. Dropping Andrew to 4. But look at all his mana that Andrew has. He's like, if he has some removal spells, things can get scary. He's got a lot of mana. All right, looks like John going through his lines. Andrew needs burn! Get those lightning bolts! Get those tar fires! Alright, so it looks like he's doing some debating. And maybe he's calculating out, like, if I attack in and he has Teamer Battle Rage here, like, I just die. Alright, if I attack a certain way, so let me do this. That'll put him to 6. And I can make more Thopters and be able to swing in, kind of thing. He's only got 1 card in hand. I love that. I didn't say burns, I said burn. So this go wide strategy is working out pretty well. He's got to pass. All right. Decisions. So it's like, again, how much damage do you want to do, right? Like, you can't, if you start swinging in with everything, you know, 2, 4, 5, you'll put them to 1. And then, if you don't have any follow-ups, you can just be in a lot of trouble. Utopian Sprawl coming down. And he says, I'm going to tap this, put this Utopian Sprawl in here. Skywalker says, this is aggravating me the way John stacks his lands. Are you more of like how Andrew has it, and like every single one's kind of laid out so you can look at them all? I mean, I think it's really interesting to see how people stack their lands, I guess. I always love looking at their land choices and what art style they go for. I'm a big fan of that. Like, what do you guys think about John's basic land choices here? They good. Not foil though, yeah. Those foils. What's the most recent unset? But those foils are insanely priced, unstable. That's what it is. All right, what did he get? What did he get? Show me what you got. 1, 2, 3. Blood Moon. You look like you could use some basics, he says. This will fall off. Like, yeah, like $80 or something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. Now, Andrew could have, like, responded and fetched and got some basics, but it's like, then he just dies to all these Thopters, right? So it's like, oh. But at least he's got mountains for those burn spells, right? This go wide strategy of making Thopters with all this energy is working out nice. He still has that Aetherworks Marvel just kind of hidden off screen. So 3 gotta come across. Make another Thopter. Now he's going to try to kill you. All this evasion. So you don't have to go for this like crazy combo big stuff, right? You've got these payouts. And he just says, yeah, I'm going wide. Swinging it with everything. Yeah, and he said, yeah, look at these Death Shadow, or this Inquisition Street Wraith I got. Not getting there. So John gets their game 1. Lots of this like delay, go wide strategy worked really, really well against the Traverse, where it is like more of this Pierce strategy where you're focused on this one creature, making him really big off of your low life and just getting in there. Yeah, that's true. And Benjamin Barry was saying, I think Battle Rage is only out, so all red is fine. Yeah, at that point, all red is fine if his only out is that Battle Rage. And you could see that's what John was very deliberate in his attacks of going, okay, I need this amount of creatures left back to make sure if I block and do this amount of damage this turn, and he Battle Rages and gets that trample double strike, I'll still live, right? So I liked him really being very deliberate on his attack. And you can see that's why John is a seasoned champion, right? He's put forth the efforts and thinks about his plays a lot. So really, really cool to see. And yeah, look at him going through his list, already pulling stuff out. Looks like, oh, there's a Keranos in his list. Got some Through the Breaches he's going to be messing with, and wow, doing some major changes to his list to help battle against this Traverse Shadow list. Alright, Andrew's going through his list. So knowing that it's like this big kind of go wide strategy, like Lingering Souls will be nice to be able to bring in, because that is, you know, often a sideboard card. That the list could be able to run. If he's got more, if he's got like a Maelstrom Pulse in his list, I love Maelstrom Pulse. Big fan of that card. That would be a nice one to kind of be like, ha, get rid of all those Thopters you've been making. I don't know if he's running Temur in his main or if it's like in his sideboard. I don't really know if Andrew is currently running Temur. I'm a big fan of Temur. I've liked it a lot. So I think I just like gotcha cards that you can be able to just sort of get your opponent with them. I'm a fan of that sort of stuff. Only Modern can have a 3-color combo-ish deck run Blood Moons. And that wasn't even sideboard. The Blood Moons were main board for his list. I'm telling you guys, if you come out to Winchester, Virginia, you're ever in the area to play Modern, which we always do every Tuesday night, you better be ready for some Blood Moons. On this last Tuesday, there was 3 people that had Blood Moons main board. John was one of them. Now, there are some people that do run Blood Moons in their sideboards and stuff like that. And, oh, someone's shaking the camera. All right, shuffling up, getting ready to go. Andrew is on the play this time. I don't remember if he was on the play last time. I think he was, because he was already starting to strip away cards. Oh, we crazy then. Yeah, like some of the choices that players are going for. Blood Moon is a super... Okay, would you rather... Here's a would you rather question, guys. Would you rather face down Blood Moon as a 3 or 4 color deck, and your opponent plays down Blood Moon, or Chalice of the Void when your majority of your deck is like on 1 cost? What would you rather play against? It's just like that sort of, you know, what is worse, Tron, Storm, or Lantern Control? Sadly, I don't have my co-caster here to ask these questions. I always ask him questions like that. So I'm going to shoot it to you guys, and you can tell me what would you rather be facing down. If you're running a 3 or 4 color deck with, we'll say, 2 to 3 basics in it, and your opponent throws down a Blood Moon, or you know that they have a Chalice and your deck is full of 1-drops. Oh, what do you think is more frustrating to play against? Or what would you rather play against? What interaction? So getting some fetching action for Andrew while you guys think about that tough question there. And he says, I'll go to 17. Get this Blood Crypt. And he says, here's what my hand looks like to you. Ooh. Engineered Explosives, really nice. 2 Ancient Stirrings, 1 Utopian Sprawl are the options. So Andrew's kind of got to look at his hand and basically decide, okay, your removal is a nice one that just sits for later in the game. If Andrew took out Gul'dan's Command, which probably didn't, he can, say I can be able to take that. The ramp spell, Utopian Sprawl, is a good one to take. He already has 2 Ancient Stirrings, so I like that pick that he went for. Sinister was saying that he had a Swamp in his hand, whether he played Blood Moon last game, so it didn't respond to it. Makes sense. Since he had the Forest already out, that was kind of snuck off camera at the top. And he says, yep, this will be entering with 1 counter, since I know you're running around with those Death Shadows. I'll be ready to kind of deal with that. And that was the other thing too, is Andrew didn't really have any of his 2-drops there, which was interesting. And he says, I'd like to Thoughtseize you, please. He says, I guess you're going to take one of these, because I drew a land. Now, what land does Andrew play? Oh, he missed a land drop. Oh. Ancient Stirring is going to come out looking for, and he says, I'll find this land. This will work. Aether Hub, of course, starts getting the energy train going for him. And he says, nope, I'll got this Aether Hub, so when I need energy, I can use it. Till then, here's a land tapped. Ready to go. Stomping Ground, so now he's got access to red and green. Andrew's still on 1 mana and has to pass. Misty. John gonna go down to 19. Get that lovely basic island. I love the art for it. Still haven't picked up any of my unstable lands yet. I just haven't gotten around to it. Oh, look at this Rogue Refiner. Another banned standard card making waves in Modern. Get 2 energy, draw a card. Love it. Mishra's Bauble. Another kind of lantern funny. Alright. Gotta do some fun stuff with it. It says, oh, can I take a peek at your top card? Oh, I think that was a Marvel, guys. I think it was. So he can sack it, look at that top card, and he'll know he'll draw during his opponent's turn. He said, I'm going to push that guy because the Revolt trigger. And then he can pass. Now, remember, you've got to make sure you remember your triggers to draw the cards, whether you put a dice on top of your library, whatever you do to help remember. So, Andrew's going to have no problem remembering. John's going to start building up that energy count. He said, here's my Marvel. Pass turn. I don't have enough energy to spin it yet, but, oh, I will. Because remember, whenever a permanent you control is put in the graveyard, you get an energy, and you get to pay that 6. Look at the top 6. Alright, Andrew's ready. He found that second land. Fetching down to 14. Does he go to 12? I feel like he's got to. Like, he gets himself closer here to having all the colors that he needs. And yeah, so he's goes to 12. Now he could play something like a Goyf or something that gets kind of bigger, gets in the way here. Thing is, John's 2 energy away from being able to spin that guy. There's the Goyf. Let's see how big he is. Artifact, sorcery, instant, creature. Wow, 6, 7. What else is in there that I'm missing? Oh, okay. So Skywalker talking about how he's been playing some Legacy Storm. That's like, I have Legacy Infect. I have Infect in every format I can. And I only have 2 tropical islands, and I'm like, I don't want to spend the money on any more. Alright? When I go and play Legacy, I'm going to run breeding pools, or if it's a major event, I'll just ask and borrow them from somebody. Like, oh, he just says, I'm going to blow this up and spin the Marvel. That's fine. Nothing dies. I just need the extra energy so I can spin it. And he says, show me Emrakul. Nope. No Emrakul. But now he's got a way to do some blocking if he wanted to. I don't want to spend that money on the lands either. Like, got lucky that I got some of them a while ago, a couple of years ago, so they were a little bit cheaper, but yeah, I'm fine with my 2. Like, I've got so much invested in Modern that I don't, like, I'm happy that I have Legacy Infect, so I can say that, I can play a deck in almost every single format. Alright, 6 damage coming across. Here's a second Goyf. Man, these beaters can get out of hand quick. I like the Traverse style because of the extra artifacts and extra ways to make your Goyf larger. Because they're going to be a big part of how you're doing damage, and you don't have to go so ham on Death Shadow. Where, some of the other lists might be. Ooh, sack this Marvel. Get this Marvel. I like it. So he's up to 5 energy. One more and he gets to spin the wheel. Andrew, though, going to go down to 10 with that sweet-looking Godless Shrine. What are you guys' thoughts on expeditions? Are you fans of the expeditions? Not a fan of the... I really like the lands for the expedition style. I like that. I think it's really sweet. Here's a Thopter. Double block. Or not, but 1 block's here, 1 block's there, essentially. And what about the Leaves Play trigger? So with Marvel, whenever a permanent you control is put into the graveyard, you get an energy. So like when he played the second Marvel, he got an energy. So he gets energy off of stuff going to the graveyard. I really like the Godless Shrine version. I also really like... let me pull up Marvel again, because Oh, Maelstrom Pulse. I'm a big fan of the breeding pool, not the breeding pool, the Misty Rainforest Expedition. I like that one a lot. So, Goyf bringing the beats, able to tie it up. Going to game 3 now. Still haven't seen Marvel hit a Emrakul. It's been more reliant on the token generation than anything else here. So like John double checking through his list to see if there's anything else that he would like to switch out. Does another quick shuffle. Jin returns, says, "Oh my god, Marvel is atrociously bad." I like the concept of it. I like the idea of trying to make it work, and like Rogue Refiner, right, or Whirler Virtuoso here is going to be hanging out making Thopters with your energy, but it's not easy to make it work. And so I guess that's what it's like. It's Whirler Virtuoso, make Thopters, or I've got Through the Breach, Aetherworks Marvel, hit Emrakuls. But I think there's the Through the Breach stuff. There's other Through the Breach decks that run around. So I'd like that he's trying to make it work. I like that you can do that in Modern, right? Alright, players shuffling up, ready to go. Relic is a good start. He says, I'll go to 17, play this Relic of Progenitus. Again, great way to kind of battle against the Delirium style. Great way to try to cut his opponent off particular spells. So, I like that. Mishra's Bauble. I'm going to look at my own card. See if I care about fetching it away or not. And he says, please. Andrew, 18 off that. Street Wraith. Well, so here's the thing. It's like, with Modern, another cycled Street Wraith. Or no, that was a fetch. Does he go to 15? With Modern, you can build whatever you want now. Like this, the format is so great that if you want to build something fun, like Aetherworks Marvel, why not? Why not build something that you're going to have fun with? You might win a couple. You're not going to go and 5-0 a tournament, right? It's not going to happen. It's that fringe deck that you can sit there and have fun with, and you're going to get people with it because they're not going to be ready, but it's not going to win. So I think I love that Modern's in this place where you can be able to do that. And look at that. It says this is the only thing you could take. 2 Through the Breach and 1 Emrakul. Yep. That's a hand. If only you can get some lands. I want to see some Emrakul tonight, guys. Other than just in someone's hand. I want to see it cast. Snuck into play. Nobody's running Nahiri, Emrakul, Jeskai style anymore. Everyone's doing Kiki Moon or just Jeskai control, Jeskai tempo. They're not really running the Nahiri Emrakul package, so. And we're going to say he's at 12 here off this Fetch Shock. Yep, gets the old Blood Crypt. What are your guys' thoughts on original Ravnica Shocklands as opposed to the Return to Ravnica Shocklands? Which arts do you like better? Ooh, that would make sense why you were fuddling over there. So we'll say Andrew's at 10. That would make sense. Original, so much better than RTR. And he said, oh, the Whirler Virtuoso, I can never say that word, gets stripped away with the Inquisition. Here's the Death Shadow. He's a 3/3. And John says, okay, that's fine. I'm going to fetch. Go to 16 on your end step. Ooh, Nookmage says, original art, but the newer ones are better foil. He says, would you like to cut? I'm also going to sack this and draw a card. Alright, so he's digging for those lands. We know that he's got the Through the Breach. We know that he's got the Emrakul in hand. Can he get there? Looks like Utopian Sprawl. No, Ancient Stirrings. Find me a land, he says. I could use a land. Oh, never mind. Found a way to answer that Death Shadow. Put one counter on it. Play my Forest and pass. Now, it does cost 2 to blow that up. Alright? Engineer Explosives, whatever mana you put into it, right? That's how many counters based on the color. It's the whole Sunburst style thing. Then you pay 2, sack, destroy all of the non-land permanents with that converted mana cost. Andrew thinking here. Trying to decide attack first. Looks like he'll swing in 3. Assuming my math is correct. Assuming that I didn't miss anything, which is quite possible. You know, I do miss things from time to time. Another Inquisition, he says. You can't take anything. Andrew's hoping that one of those is going to be a Thought Seize so he can strip away something, but... oof. Puzzle Knot gains 3 life, gets 3 energy. Double checking their life totals here. Ah, yeah, so Sinister was saying that he was hoping to nail Utopian Sprawl, but he probably would have played it already. That makes sense. Alright. Bringing the beats again. 3 more, he says. Let's get you back down to 13. Not much pressure here. But still, just a nice poke here and there from the 3, making sure John knows that he, you know, still should be a little worried. And he can't, like, Andrew can't go too ham on things because he knows that he'll lose the Death Shadow. So I love this follow-up play of the Goyf. Oh no, we can't see what it is. I don't think he's that big. Because the... Oh, that's going to make him bigger. Because the Relic of Progenitus decided to blow everything up. Oh, Teamer Battle Rage. Teamer Battle Rage is the Goyf. Even if he's a 6, he'll double strike it, you know, to a 12. Still not enough to kill. And he says, yeah, I'll blow that up. Okay, 3-4 at most. Alright. Wait. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so it looks like John's going through everything and saying, hey, with you targeting that, he'll still die, kind of thing. Okay, so now he's a 4-5. All right, looks like we got to see that. So it puts him to 9. Live and learn, right? Not used to battling against engineer explosives. Kind of get that revealed to you is like how that works, right? Teamer Battle Rage with the Goyf there would have pushed for some extra damage. Now, don't forget, and what Andrew's looking at right now is that puzzle knot that he can gain 3 life off of. Andrew will hit that traverse, though. And finds a Death Shadow. We'll play Death Shadow now. It says, coming at you for 4. John drops down to 5. John's on 4 lands. If he draws a land, he wins. Oh no! Spin the marble! Let's get an Emrakul! Get an energy. Draw a card. Oh, get 2 energy. Sorry. Draw a card. Still doesn't have a land. Alright. Jump in the way of Goyf. Take the 3 off Death Shadow. Hope there's no Street Wraith. Hope there's no Thoughtseize. Here's a swamp. Show me a Lily. Make him sack. There it is. Combat. Kill you. There we go. Oh, John 1 land away from casting Emrakul. Andrew sticks it out. Liliana to save the day. Great end to that. Nice, you know, really liked seeing everyone, you know, extend the hands, do all that kind of good stuff throughout the evening. Nice sportsmanship from a lot of the players here tonight. So, really good start to the season. Again, we started Modern Magic Mondays February of 2016. So, for 2 years now, this is season number 7 that we've done it. So, 2 years, we did about 6 seasons, which is a 10-week season followed by a top 8 invitational. Our top 8 does have interviews with the players. We get to see the deck list that they're running for the invitational, so a lot more in depth. We just had that. That is, of course, up on YouTube. It's also up highlighted, I guess, broken down on Twitch if you guys want to check that stuff out. If you like the content that we're producing over here, it is every single Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We do have new rounds of Modern action for you guys. The VODs, of course, go up on YouTube later in the week for you guys to watch. But if you like it, hit the follows, hit the subscribes, all that kind of good stuff. You can see across the bottom all of our Twitters. I am, of course, the real Nan Man for all of you guys that have been hanging out with me tonight. Thanks so much. Other stuff that we're going to be working on this coming week in response to our podcast that we do is going to be hitting it up recording on Thursday. We're going to be doing a huge segment on the Pro Tour, really going in depth about the particular decks. Statistics about who made day 2, all that kind of stuff. Wild Caliber, thank you for the follow. Glad you're liking the stream tonight. We're also going to be sitting there and talking about kind of other events that might be coming up that are Modern related for you guys that are playing along at home, because there is, of course, Modern event coming up this week and a GP up in Toronto, I guess, Canada, somewhere out that way. So pretty exciting to see. There's team events coming up in the future. Skywalker, thanks for hanging out tonight. Have a good night, sir. I guess Ma'am too. Leia was Skywalker, right? Anyway, going to be doing our recording of the podcast. It will not be live. It will be VOD style. We're going to be posting up it by Saturday, so you guys can be able to listen to that. Of course, we have it on SoundCloud. We've got it on iTunes for you guys to do. The VOD will be up on YouTube as well, so you guys can check out all previous stuff like that. What are all the days that we stream? Currently, it is every single Monday. We're still working on stuff for the rest of the week. Brett's doing, like Farmers Are in ours, our other co-host with us, Brett. He does streaming on his channel, Variety Gaming, throughout the week. Because I am a special ed teacher and going back to school for my master's. I'm like super busy with everything that I'm doing. I haven't had as much time to stream. Plus, I'm getting back into StarCraft because I'm going to be casting a LAN event in June. And Goober1501, thank you for the subscription. You're awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Glad that you decided to hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate the support. Maybe more depending on the events that week. That's the whole big thing, is for sure guaranteed every Monday. Liking to start doing some more Magic Online stuff. Whenever we get the whole go ahead to start streaming up Magic Arena, we'll do that because I'm in the beta for that. But again, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing right now is a lot of behind the scenes things. There's a lot of content that we're starting to do, like podcasts and other stuff, to start adding up. We might even start doing a couple of videos, record them up, and post them up on Thursdays for those that are interested. Over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/nanman, I do a Modern meta breakdown where I go over a deck that is in Modern and sit there and discuss what are the ins and outs of the deck, how you might beat the deck, what are ways to sideboard against it, and just kind of give some in-depth stuff. I did probably around 25 videos for the 2017 meta, and now we've just started up the 2018 meta. So, but yeah, thanks so much for tuning in and watching tonight, guys. Again, follow, subscribe, check everything out. Keep your eyes peeled for our In Response To podcast with huge in-depth about the Pro Tour. I loved watching all the Modern stuff and can't wait to keep talking about it with a lot of people. We had great conversations tonight on the stream, and that's a big part of what we do here, is kind of help educate a lot of our players, make it fun, and get the discussion going about stuff in Modern, because Modern is an amazing format and we love to help kind of bring it out to as many people as possible. But that's going to do it for at least me here tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next game.